It's Ariane. So today I'm going to be giving my predictions for every team. Let's get right to it, and I'll start with the Western Conference. Before I start, let me quickly say I prefer teams with more overall talent than a team with one or two elite players, and the rest of the team's horrible. And you'll see a lot of examples in this in the video. So at the 1 seed, I have the Golden State Warriors, of course. I have them at 59 and 23. The only reason I don't have them winning more games is because I don't trust Steph's durability. I think he'll get injured again. DeMarcus Cousins, I think when he comes back for a couple of games, it might be a little rough and getting used to him. So he might lose a couple easy games there, just getting adjusted to DeMarcus Cousins. I think Klay Thompson's overrated because his position can be switch and he can still get 80% of what he does. He's basically just the best 3-and-D player in the NBA. If you switch him with Robert Covington, I think the Warriors don't lose more than 3 more games. They have the potentials to fall apart. Steph, he has a huge injury history, like I said. We don't know how DeMarcus Cousins will fit. So you might even see them losing more than 23 games. Lakers, have them at the 2nd seed. I know what you're thinking. I'm just some kid that doesn't know about basketball, that likes LeBron James and thinks he's a superhero. Well, 2 things. He is a superhero. That's number 1. Number 2, a big reason I have them as a 2nd seed winning 57 games is because I believe the other additions they got with LeBron will help them a lot. If they got LeBron alone, I think they're a 4th or 5th seed, looking at maybe 50 games. But with Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Michael Beasley, Rajon Rondo, I think that boosts them up to the 2nd seed. They have very good depth at every position. Again, added veteran pieces. I think it'll help a lot. Rondo will help Lonzo. The pieces will just help a lot. Number 3, I have Houston Rockets at the 3rd seed. I have them going 55 and 27. I think they're going to take a step back. Chris Paul got a year older. We know what happens to point guards in the NBA when they get older. That's not a good sign. As he gets older, I think he'll turn into more of a role player, not a star. Or maybe even a starter, not a star. Carmelo Anthony, I think he will help the Rockets. I know a lot of people don't like the addition. Personally, I love the addition. If they made James Harden, Chris Paul work, I think they can make Carmelo Anthony, Chris Paul, and James Harden work. They lost Trevor Ariza and Luke Mbah-a-Moute. Can't do much about that. I did like the James Ennis signing, though. Again, I have them at 3rd seed, 55 and 27. Now, at the 4th seed, this might shock you guys. I have the Denver Nuggets. I have them at 51 and 31. They have young pieces that are getting better every year. I'm not as high on the Isaiah Thomas signing as most people, but I still think it's going to be a good signing if he is willing to come off the bench because he can be a bucket getter just like Michael Beasley. Everyone being healthy will help a lot. Paul Millsap missed a bunch of last year. Gary Harris, Jamal Murray, they were all injured a little bit, knick-knacks here and there. So once I think they get their full roster healthy, they can be a very dangerous team. Number 5 of the Oklahoma City Thunder at 49 and 33. Quickly, before I talk about that, I'd like to say this is what I meant by I prefer teams with more overall talent over teams with 1 or 2 stars. I have the Denver Nuggets being better than the Thunder because the Nuggets have more overall talent in Millsap, Jokic, Murray, Harris, Isaiah Thomas, while Oklahoma City Thunder just have Russell Westbrook and Paul George. And I know Steven Adams helps too. Nerlens Noel signing was good. I didn't like getting rid of Melo. I thought 1 more year, give him a chance, maybe he bounces back. I don't think they did much to help their team this offseason. Minnesota Timberwolves at the 6th seed, 47-35. I love the addition of Anthony Tolliver. You're basically the same team, just like the Thunder. The core will get better, though, which is good. 1 more year under Jimmy Butler, Karl Anthony Towns, and Andrew Wiggins. Hopefully they get on the same page and they're not as upset as each other like last year. Utah Jazz, I have them at the 7th seed at 46 and 36. Again, like the other ones, they're same team. Young core gets 1 year older. They did make a bad choice waiving Jonas Strebko, though. I thought he could be a very impactful player off the bench. He can help stretch the floor. Again, you have Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert. I mean, that's your only two building blocks. The rest of your team's getting pretty old, and Joe Ingles, Ricky Rubio got a year older. I think 1 year you're going to need to trade all of those pieces and have to rebuild. So I think this is your last year to compete, in my opinion. San Antonio Spurs, I have them at the 8th seed at 45 and 37. This is due to complete respect for Pop. If it wasn't for Pop, I would have them probably at like the 11th or 12th seed. Basically, it's the same team as last year, except you had DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl. Downside is everybody gets a year older. Tony Parker leaves. Manu Ginobili and what's his name? Pau Gasol. They're pretty much done. So you know, you have Jakob Poeltl filling in the Pau Gasol role, and hopefully DeMar DeRozan will at least be 90% of what Kawhi Leonard was last year. 9th seed New Orleans Pelicans, 44 and 38. Again, this is why I have other teams ahead of them. They only have Anthony Davis. He's a star, but I prefer teams with more overall talent. They rely too much on Anthony Davis. I love the signing of Randall, though, but they did get worse this offseason by letting go Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins. I also like the signing of Elfrid Payton, though. Portland Trailblazers at the 10th seed. I have them at 42 and 40. I think they rely too much on Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum. I also believe that one of them will be shopped this year. Don't be surprised if Kevin Love comes to Portland. They get rid of some of their bad contracts like Allen Crabbe, Al-Farouq Aminu. So yeah, I have them at 10th seed. Now at the 11th seed, I have the Dallas Mavericks at 35 and 47. I think they have really underrated talent. I love how they don't rely on one person. I think they're the most underrated team in the league. I think they could be a dark horse for making the playoffs this year. They have Dennis Smith Jr., Luka Doncic, Harrison Barnes, DeAndre Jordan. They just have so many pieces that can score. They don't rely on one person, so you can't scheme against the Dallas Mavericks because anybody can go off at any night. Number 12, I have the Memphis Grizzlies at 32 and 50. They do have talent, but they don't have enough firepower. I also think Jaren Jackson Jr. will be a bust because he has no unique skill set from any other big man in the NBA. He plays too much like a traditional center. I don't think he'll work in the NBA. He's too skinny too. They do have Mike Conley coming off injury, Marc Gasol coming off injury, but then again, they're two not very old, but quite old players, and coming off injury, you don't know if they're ever going to be the same like they were before. 13th seed, Phoenix Suns, 30 and 52. They also have great young talent, but I think they're 1 year away. Just don't fast forward the rebuilding process. Just be patient, give them 1 more year to develop, and it'll be something promising, I promise you. They have Devin Booker, Josh Jackson, who really turned up the second half of last season, DeAndre Ayton, not a big fan of, but he was a first overall pick. You gotta give him the benefit of the doubt. TJ Warren. They just have a lot of good pieces, basically. Los Angeles Clippers, I have them at the 14th seed at 26 and 56. I love Tobias Harris. I think he's a better version, not the better version, but I think he can be Carmelo Anthony in his prime. I wouldn't be surprised. Don't be surprised if he wins the Most Improved Player of the Year this year. I have him winning that. But they don't have enough talent around Tobias Harris and Lou Williams to compete for the playoffs. Sacramento Kings, I have them at the 15th seed and the last seed in Western Conference at 18 and 64. Let's be real. Their roster is terrible, okay? They have Buddy Hield, they have De'Aaron Fox, and they have Marvin Bagley, who I love because he went to Duke. I saw him a lot at Duke, and I think he can be a star in the new era of basketball because he can dribble, he can shoot, He can get to the paint. He's explosive. He's athletic. I just think he'll fit in great. But the rest of your roster is trash. Let's be real, okay? Don't expect to win more than 20 games at the most. I have you at 18-64. Now let's get to the Eastern Conference. Yes, I said Eastern. At the first seed, I have the Boston Celtics at 61-21. They by far have the deepest and most versatile team in the NBA. Most of their 1 through 4 can play, most of their most of their 1 through 4 can play 1 through 4, So Gordon Hayward could guard the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward. Jason Tatum, same thing. Who else? Jaylen Brown, same thing. They do have a lot of people that can play good defense and offense. Again, I think they match up perfectly with anybody in the NBA. I have them at the first seed. Second seed, Toronto Raptors. They have a very good bench. I wasn't a big fan of the Dwayne Casey firing, especially since he just promoted your assistant coach Nick Nurse to the head coach position. We don't know if Kawhi's healthy. It's given that Kawhi's healthy, but we don't know that yet. What if he's a shell of himself? Everybody's just assuming he's healthy. So, I don't know. You might be looking at them getting a 5th seed. But then again, I have them at the 2nd seed. At the 3rd seed, I have the Milwaukee Bucks. I know what you're thinking. This is bias. I'm not going to lie. It is a little bit biased. But I do have some very good reasoning on why. I have them going 15-32. Last year they went 44-38. So if you say they can't win 6 more games, I think that's ridiculous. Because you got a new coach in Mike Budenholzer, who's an amazing defensive coach, and he can finally use our length to our advantage. We have amazing guard depth. Tony Snell, who will get it back. I think he might win Most Improved Player this year along with Tobias Harris. Dante DiVincenzo, Malcolm Brogdon, Eric Bledsoe, Sterling Brown. We just have so many guards that can help the team. Pat Connaughton, Trevon Duval. It's just amazing. We finally surrounded Giannis with shooters. That's why the Sixers have been so successful with Ben Simmons. They surrounded him with shooters. We got Giannis, Ersan Ilyasova, and Brook Lopez. We do lack a little bit of small forward depth and power forward depth, but I think we'll be fine if we play a small ball offense. Number 4, at the 4th seed, I have the Philadelphia 76ers. I have them at 49-33. They lost their shooters in free agency and Marco Bellinelli and Ersan Ilyasova. I think that'll take a toll on them because they were much better last year when they had them after the buyout season than before they had them. I can't trust Joel Embiid's health. I'm sorry. 7-footers are not usually the most durable people in the NBA. Again, they rely too much on their stars. They don't have enough overall depth, They do have Dario Saric and Robert Covington to help Ben Simmons, but that's about it. They also have a very tough division. They have the Toronto Raptors and the Boston Celtics in their division. For that reason, I have them at the 4th seed instead of the 3rd seed. Miami Heat, I have them at 43-39 as the 5th seed. They're basically the knockoff Boston Celtics. They have very good depth. Again, most of their 1 through 4 players can play any position 1 through 4 on offense and defense. They always get the best out of their talent, similar to the San Antonio Spurs. But we do have an irritated Whiteside. Yes, I know he had a meeting with Pat Riley and they supposedly are on the same page now, but are they really, or is it just for the press to hear? At 6th seed, Washington Wizards, 42-40. Dwight Howard has been shot for a reason. I hate to break it to you. He's a great talent, but it's not because of his on-the-court things that he's been shot. It's because of his chemistry, and if you can't get along with Marcin Gortat, I don't know how you're going to get along with Dwight Howard. I think Austin Rivers and Jeff Green will help, though. They will help a lot. Austin Rivers will help shooting. Jeff Green can help defense and shooting. Only key is, will Jeff Green be consistent, and can Dwight Howard get along with the rest of the team? Number 7, at 7th seed, I have the Indiana Pacers, 40-42. Look, Victor Oladipo will regress, okay? Last year, he got to take all the shots he wanted. Of course he's going to score points. He's basically the Poor man's version of Russell Westbrook. Tyreek Evans will regress. With the Grizzlies, they were trying to lose games. Again, they were tanking. He had the green light. That's why he scored so many points. They are the most overrated team in the NBA. Look, Victor Oladipo is only that good as he was last year if he's the best player on your team. And if Victor Oladipo is the best player on your team, I hate to break it to you, but you're not going to be a very good team. You're not going to make it out of the first round, okay? So, again, I have them at 7 seed, not very high on the Indiana Pacers. They overpaid Doug McDermott and Kyle Quinn, and yeah, that's about it. 8 seed Detroit Pistons, 37-45. New coach Dwayne Casey, I think he'll help a lot. Upgrade over Jeff Van Gundy. Or was it Steve Van Gundy? Who cares? Blake Griffin's very overrated. He's a 20 points, 20 and 8 guy a night. They act like he's a 30 and 12 guy a night. They only have forward talent. They have no backcourt talent. Again, they rely on Blake Griffin, Andre Drummond too much. That's why I only have them as an 8 seed. Charlotte Hornets, I have them at the 9 seed, 30-52. They got a new coach in, I'm sorry, I forgot his name, but I know he came from the Coach Poptree. But they did get let go of Steve Clifford. He wasn't the greatest coach, but I don't know how the new coach will help them. I think he's worse than their old coach in Steve Clifford. They rely too much on Kemba Walker. Let's be real. What other talent do they have in Charlotte other than Kemba? Michael Kidd-Gilchrist? Nicola Batum? That's not going to get the job done. I hate to break it to you. Man, I've been saying I hate to break it to you way too much in here. 10 seed Cleveland Cavaliers. I have them at 28-54. They're way too old. They lack playmakers, okay? They still have some solid talent in Rodney Hood, Larry Nance Jr., Kevin Love, Colin Sexton. They do have some good talent, okay? But again, they're lacking a playmaker to make the talent to their best of their capabilities as possible. And their defense is horrible. They're going to be one of the slowest teams in the NBA, pace-wise. 11 seed Chicago Bulls, 27-55. Way too many power forwards. Bobby Portis, Lauri Markkanen, Jabari Parker, Wendell Carter Jr. Just way too young. At least a year away. I think 2 years away. And their defense is horrible. I think they're the worst defensive team in the NBA. I think the Cavs are the second worst defensive team in the NBA. So, yes, they have very good offense, but I don't think their offense will boost them over their defense. 12 seed Brooklyn Nets, 22-60. Lots of young talent. I love Jared Allen. I'm not a big fan of D'Angelo Russell. I think he can get it together though. Spencer Dinwiddie, not a big fan like other people. But regardless, they have enough talent to win 20 games, if that's anything. Not enough talent to make the playoffs or even compete for a playoff spot. I think they're relying on D'Angelo Russell too much, to be honest. I think they need to give him some more talent around him. 13 seed, the New York Knicks. I have them at 20-62. Look, Kristaps is out for half the season. They might win 7 games by the time he comes back. Hopefully Kevin Knox and Frank Ntilikina will shine in while he's gone. I just don't see them winning many games. They have Kevin Knox, Frank Ntilikina, and Tim Hardaway Jr. until Kristaps comes back. At the 14th seed, Atlanta Hawks, 18-64. Good young talent. I think they're a couple years away. There's not really much to say about the Hawks. If I were the Hawks, I'd give Trae Young the green light. Let him shoot. Let him have off nights. Let him have good nights. Let him develop confidence in his shot. You're not trying to win games, so give him the green light. John Collins will get better this year. I'm a big fan of Omari Spellman. I think he'll be great this year. Kevin Huerter, haven't seen much, but hopefully he'll be good for Hawks fans. Orlando Magic at 17-65. They have too many centers. They had Bismack Biyombo. They traded him, which was good, but it was a horrible trade for them. They still have Nikola Vucevic, Mo Bamba. They just have way too many centers. And they don't have much talent on their roster, except for the center position. Hopefully they can develop Mo Bamba. If not, he'll turn into Thon Maker. Not saying that Thon Maker's bad. I think he'll be great this year for the Bucks. Actually, I think he'll help them. He'll be a rotational piece. But what I mean by that is, skinny guy, can't gain weight, didn't develop to the best of his capabilities. Or he could be Rudy Gobert with the jump shot. So it all depends on how the Magic will develop him. That'll do it for the video, guys. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, like. If you made it this far in the video, you've had to like something, right? So you might as well like. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for making this far in the video, because with the new YouTube algorithm, all that matters is watch time and not views. So I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.